Hi friends, it's Angela, Wildvioletsart here again for Marvelous Monday. Mondays usually don't have anything good to say for themselves, so that's why I decided to call it Marvelous Monday, because we got to have something fun to do on Monday, which stamping is fun, at least to me. Um, so tonight we're going to work with a stamp set from the mini catalog. This is a catalog that comes out twice a year, and this one is from July to December of 2022. And this stamp set, Penguin Place, was actually one that was featured in the mini catalog that was from January to June. And currently the stamp set is $18, which is a really good deal. And the punch is $19. So let me show you these. Really cute. So as you can see, let me turn this over. So as you can see, it's got all kinds of cute little penguins and accessories that you can add to the penguin. You can add the little antlers, there's a cap, a muffler, presents. It's like a little purse, a balloon string, a little snow hill, feet, nose, hearts, eyes and beaks, snowflakes, and then all kinds of cute little sentiments. So tonight we're going to use the birthday, and we're going to use the season's greeting, and I'll show you a little bit about that here in a minute. But what goes with this is a penguin builder punch, which means with different parts you can make a penguin. So I'm going to show you how to use this as well. So before I do that, I just wanted to show you a few of the cards. So one of the things that I'm going to be showing you tonight is stamping off. And this is a great sample of what you can do with stamping off. I stamped the tree, and then you stamp again and again and again, and it fades into the background. This is a super simple card, but great little Christmas card. I like clean and simple cards. So this is what that would be called, or a cast card. And just, there's not much to it. Just the little Christmas trees, the little greeting in red, and just a fun festive card. So I'll show you a sample of that in a different color. And then here is just a simple little card with the penguin with the Rudolph nose and the little antlers, and a simple little greeting. And this was just a tag that I cut, but I'm using some designer series paper. And what I did is I kept using the same look on all three. Here's the cute little penguin. I added some strings and balloons, and like I did last week, I stamped them, then fussy cut them out. This is using the punch. These I stamped and cut out, and then this is the designer series paper, and as you can see, I stamped the sentiment on the lined paper in a diagonal like the paper, so it was really cute. And then this is a little wintry one. This is the iridescent. This is the snowflake specialty vellum, and one of the little snowflakes that it comes with. And then I've got some iridescent stars on there as well. So there's some embellishments on it. And then this is the sentiment. Be cool, be chill, and be merry. And I just kind of staggered it and then cut off a portion of it. And then this is with the little penguin that's sliding, and I had him sliding down the hill. I just turned this upside down, so there was more of a hill to it. Added a couple trees at the end, and then of course I had some snowflakes and some stars. The little cap and the little muffler, I just added a little bit of extra. I left a little bit extra paper, and then I just cut it, so it ends up making it look like it's fluffy. So hopefully you can see that. And I'll do some pictures of this. You can see that I made a little mistake here, but hey, these are not perfect. These are just, they're handmade. But I continued the little verse. And when these verses are long and little, you'll find that they can be manipulated. And so I just manipulated it to where I wanted it, so that it matched the hillside. So, okay, I don't want to distract you too much with other things. So there's all kinds of options with this cute set. Okay, so and then here's one. This is one that was done with masking. And masking is when you stamp a couple of images and then you cover them up and then you can stamp what looks like it's behind it. So it's just a cute bunch of little balloons with a little sentiment, happy birthday on it. Super easy. Just took a few minutes and then I layered it with a couple of layers and put it on the colored cardstock. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping off and we're going to do a little bit of masking. Okay. So I'm starting again with my basic white cardstock base. And we went through that the last couple of videos. So if you missed my videos, my beginner video set, you'll want to go through videos 1 through 3 to kind of get some basics on how to make your basic card. So this is an A2 card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but it starts out as a half of an 8 1/2 by 11, cut in half, scored in half, and it just turns out to be a perfect little card. Okay, so I'm adding some designer series paper, and this paper is called Celebrate Everything. When you become a hostess or have a party, you can earn free merchandise or you can earn merchandise at a discount. So this is all the papers that are in this Celebrate Everything, and you can see it's got Christmas, it's got New Year's, summer, that one could be waves, another Christmas one. These were for Halloween. These are just some different patterns. Look like there was some fall, more for New Year's Eve or 4th of July, either one. You can do year-round birthdays, all kinds of stuff. So as you can see, excuse me, this one is this paper, and on the opposite side is this. So it has more of a Christmas theme to it. If you look at the background of this paper, it's actually this one, and you can see it's got Christmas on the other side, but I like the snowflakes. And then this one was that striped one that I did the verse. And now I'm going to use this one. Okay, so I'm going to start off by just gluing this to my card. You really don't need that much glue. Less is more. And this is Tombo's liquid glue. Stampin' Up! Sells it for $4 a bottle. I like it. It works really well. It also gives you a little bit of time to line things up, wiggle it around a little bit before it's stuck in place. Okay, so now I'm going to make a penguin, and I have some scraps here. And I'm going to use some black cardstock, and I'm going to cut myself out a penguin. So there's the penguin body. And I don't need a black flipper. I'm going to put that in the trash. And then you can see here they got the little flippers. So I'm going to stamp that out twice, or punch it out twice. And I'm just lining up my paper and making sure that it's all in the paper. And I'm going to make another little flipper. So this is just our Daffodil Delight cardstock. And then I have some basic white that I'm going to do the face with. And I'm going to go ahead and punch it first, and then I'm going to put the little eyes on there. Okay. So in this stamp set, you'll see there's these 2 little dots. Those 2 little dots are the eyes. And I'm going to use the basic black to get the eyes on there. Now I'm going to assemble, whoops, I need to do his little nose. So I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight stamp pad and put the little nose right up there close to the eyes. Now you can stamp the little feet on because, as you'll see, there's a pair of feet that you can put on there, but I like the look of putting the feet where I want them, and so I'm going to use the punch feet. Now that was probably way more than I needed, so I'm going to put a little bit on the couple of feet. Let's save that for later. Okay. So I'm going to push this down as far as I can so more of his head shows. Cute little penguin, huh? And then we're going to put his little feet on there, and I'm going to use my tweezers so that I don't get glue all over my hands. And I'm going to just put the feet splayed like that because, honestly, when you're sitting down, especially if you look at little kids, their feet are always splayed out. So, really cute. Okay, so I'm going to put the penguin here, and like this card, I'm going to make it more for a girl. This one is good for a boy. It's got the basic colors, but this one's got pink and it's got pool party. So this is polished pink and pool party and some other colors that are a little softer. So I'm going to make this one into a girl one. So I'm going to make some balloons, but instead of popping it up, I'm just going to put the balloons on here. Okay, so the one in the center, I'm going to use the photopolymer for the balloon. And so I'm going to put one here. Make sure you clean off your stamps between every use, especially if you're changing colors. And then I'm going to put one in pool party. Now, Stampin' Up! Is, for the first time, is selling something called masking paper. And what it is, it's a really thin paper with an adhesive back. And this is the backing that keeps it. And so what I did is I stamped two of them and I cut them out. And I'm going to place them over the balloons that I've already stamped, so that I don't stamp on them again. Now you can see I've used it multiple times. Now behind that, make sure this is clean, I'm going to stamp some more and put this one down below. And I'll do one in green. So this is Parakeet Party. And now I'm going to move this one up because I'm going to put one more balloon in Sweet Sorbet. And again, that's one of the colors that's on here. So if you're wondering how I know what colors are what, when you're going to purchase the paper, or when you do have the paper, maybe you don't remember, it's going to give you a list of all the colors that are on here. So you've got basic black, crushed curry, granny apple green, Pacific Point, polished pink, pool party, poppy parade, and shaded spruce. Well, some of those colors are close enough to what I'm doing, and so I'm okay with that. I'm using the Parakeet Parade instead of Granny Apple Green. So we've got a nice little selection of cute balloons, and that's called masking. Okay, so now I need string, and I've got this cute little string stamp set right here. And I'm just going to do the string going down to one place. And then I can put my little penguin here, like they're holding it. And then I've got my little happy birthday sentiment. So I'm thinking just a little sentiment right there, and then we can do a little gift, but I think I should do the gifts first. So I think I'm going to do the polished pink. If you're wondering why I'm tapping the color off, is it's just a little bit easier to clean when most of the color is off. Now, if you don't have something exactly and you want to, like you don't have the masking paper, you can also use just a piece of paper. Whoops, wrong one. And just like that. I'll do one more. So, cute little set of gifts. So that's masking again, so you get an idea. And then I'm going to put the verse right here. And then I'm going to pop up my little penguin. And I just need a couple of dimensionals. Isn't that cute? So we got one for a little girl, one for a little boy. This one was cut out and popped up like I did last week with the flower. And this one is done with masking. So you can get the same effect of where they overlap, but this one is without all the fussy cutting. So if you're not into fussy cutting and you just want to punch out what you want, this one's a good one to go. If you like the fussy cutting, and you can see that I did the fussy cutting with the string and the presents. I mean, if you look at it from an angle, you can see all the different things that I fussy cut. So this one was a lot more work, but this one went together just as well, and I think it's just as cute. So really great. Okay, so now we're going to do one similar to this greeting, but we're going to just do it with a different color. So we're going to use Pool Party, and looks like I need another card base. Okay. So I'm going to leave it flat for now. Okay. Let me just put this away and change out a couple of stamps. I'm going to use the Season's Greetings again. And instead of the gift, oh, and there is a little bow. If you want to fussy cut out a bow to add to the little penguin, you can. So as you can see from this one, I used the little bow as a bow tie, but I could have stamped like a little pink bow and put it in her hair. So don't have to, but I'm going to put away the balloon. Take out the Christmas tree. And then one of the other things that I want is the snowflakes. So I think I can use this one. It's nice because these photopolymer sets have these little printed backs on the exterior, so you can tell if something is missing. So right now I know I'm using the snowflakes, the tree, and the season's greetings. Okay. All right, so for the snowflakes, I'm stamping once and I'm stamping off. Stamping once, stamping off. And you can just make it random. So I'm making it so that you can see it less and less as it goes down. Okay, so that's stamping off. So you get a dark one and a light one, a dark one and a light one, and it just kind of makes them look like they're in different levels of the sky. Okay, so now we're going to use the tree, and I want the trees in the front to be darker and the trees in the back to be lighter. And okay, so I think that's random enough. So that's stamping off, and you can see that it just kind of makes it look like there's fog or something, and it's fading out into the distance. And then I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet for the little greeting. You don't always have to have traditional colors. You can have non-traditional colors as well. And we have another Christmas tree or Christmas card done. So I'm using a bone folder. These are something that Stampin' Up! Sells. They're really great at making sure your cards are down. So this is a more traditional, little simpler, and this one's got a little less traditional colors. But you can see just simple little cards, and they have really cute looks to them. So that's stamping off. This one is a darker stamp, and you can see that it really was able to stamp off and just keep getting lighter and lighter as it was stamped off behind. So that's all I have for you today. So thanks so much for joining me. Again, it's Angela with Wildvioletsart. If you're watching this later on YouTube, please subscribe, click like, share with your friends, and I'll see you next Monday. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a good week.